Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today I have for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be actually showcasing the differences between the 4-star weapon and the 5-star weapon on Kazumi, and actually seeing how much does it really matter. Of course, the 5-star weapons, as we do know, are a little bit better because they have their additionals here, but we still want to see how bad is the 4-star, or at least how good is the 4-star compared to the 5-star, to see if you truly do need this 5-star weapon. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And as always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, even leave a comment if you're feeling generous. We're definitely trying to at least do as much as possible before the end of the year, and I've been trying to pump out as much content for you guys, so hopefully y'all all enjoy that as well. But taking a look at least at her weapons, of course, we already know the 5-star is usually going to be the better pick out of the two, especially when it comes down to the additionals. But we want to know exactly how much does the damage differ from at least the 4-star weapon to the 5-star weapon. If it is somewhat close for the most part, then you can very well just get a maxed out 4-star weapon from a Y and just exchange those out using the green coins, and just get these over here so you can get this weapon all prepared and utilize this instead of having to waste pulls and gems on the 5-star weapon. But you don't know exactly what the 4-star weapon does here. When maxed out, it is a 24% attack increase, and then of course it actually helps you out in the what's it called, by 45% when it comes down to at least damage levels when you have 2 postures. Now you do have to have 2 postures. These postures are gained through her skill 2, so you really want to make sure that you actually have those if you want that extra 45% increase in damage. As for the 5-star weapon here, Morning Glory, or at least Golden Sunrise here, it actually increases your crit damage by 36.3% if you have no dupes on it. And whenever you have postures and at least gain 1, you don't have to have multiple here, but whenever you gain a posture, it actually increases your attack by a base of 21% for 2 turns up to 1 stack. Another thing that it actually adds on is every time an ally uses a highlight, it actually will give you 1 wake, which increases your damage by 8.4% here for 3 turns up to 2 whole stacks. This is already really good to actually have, but it actually adds on one more thing here, allowing you to have, when you have 2 wakes, you actually increase your highlight damage by 30%, which is really good. So as you can see, there's a ton of more additionals by having this 5-star, but there still is that attack percentage that you need from the posture and just attack percentage in general that you already have on the 4-star weapon. So how we're going to do this is we're going to test out the 4-star weapon first, just to make sure you guys notice, yes, this is still equipped. My stats are looking exactly like this. So as you notice, my crit damage is not high, it's 218. So if I put on my 5-star weapon, just to give you guys a little bit more of a look into this, so you guys know I'm not actually cheating you out of this, 254 with the 5-star weapon, and we are actually 218 with the 4-star weapon. So we're gonna go ahead and do the guild boss, because I think that's the easiest way to showcase the damage for both of these type of things here. Same teams, nothing else different, is always going to be using the same things here. So once again, select character, making sure she has exactly the same thing, 4-star weapon, nothing's been changed, same team, everything with the same personas. We're just going to get straight into it. Now for this here, it's going to be exactly the same how I did the boss guide earlier, or at least the guild boss guide earlier. If you guys do not know that video, be sure to check it out, because I did do one earlier this morning and it really did help a lot of people when it came down to actually breaking this down. But anyways, first time you want to go ahead and buff up at least your team here. Make sure it's not directly on at least Kazumi. We're going to go ahead and give it to Vino to make sure she deals some damage here. Use the skill 1, nothing too crazy. And then with Ford, we're going to use the skill 2, but we're not going to use it on Kazumi. We're going to use it on Wonder. This allows us to, of course, keep making sure that Kazumi does not one-shot anything, or at least deal too much damage, and which is what we want. So let's go ahead and use her first skill on the first round. Yes, not the second skill. We're going to use her first skill here, and as you can see, we did a decent 22k. Nothing too crazy, nothing too insane. Now we're going to save our Futaba for this round here. In this round, we're going to use a defense decrease with Dionysus and use the 3rd skill with Vino, making sure we get that extra damage off as well. This round as well, we're going to also pop off the skill 3 with Cord, but once again, not utilizing this on Kazumi. We're going to utilize this on Wonder, mainly so it gives us all at least a little bit of a buff thanks to Dionysus here. So boom, use this on Wonder. Then we're going to immediately pop off the skill 2, and we're also going to use this on Wonder as well. Now round 3 is where things get a little bit different, where we actually start to utilize our navigators. So round 3, we're going to go ahead and use the skill 2 with Futaba. just to make sure everything is actually correct. Then we're going to actually use our highlight with Wonder, but we're going to swap our persona first. So we're going to go to Sorosh, swap the persona, pop off highlight, boom, perfectly fine. Then we're going to swap personas once again, and we're going to go to Yanasik and actually use our buff on Kazumi. This is where she'll get her time in the light. You guys will actually see what she can really do. So 26k on the follow-up, no crits, do keep that in mind, of course. And then we'll go ahead and use the skill 1 here. Now that we have the skill 1, we're going to use our skill 2, and we're going to use it on Kazumi. And then at this point in time, we're going to use the skill 1, and you guys can see kind of a little bit of her damage. So for skill 1, we did 126k, and that was not even critting. That was just basic damage here. So first round, we have Futaba once again. This is where we're going to do all the major damage here. I'm going to use that skill 1. I'm going to then use at least Wonder to use Dionysus, to then use Rebellion on her as well, making sure she gets all that nice old crit damage. Bino's going to use her skill 3. Ford's going to use the skill 1. And then, of course, Kazumi is going to use her skill 3. So we're going to go ahead and use this. And then Kazumi is going to use her skill 3. And the next turn is where we'll actually deal a lot more damage. So, boom, skill 3. No crit once again, 169k, which is pretty darn decent. And then, of course, we go ahead and use this. I'm going to go ahead and use the skill 3. As you can see, her damage is really good. Her damage, without a doubt, is actually superb. It's surprising to see that even with these things that she's not critting, she has a lot of things that are kind of iffy with that's going on right now in the background. She is still able to do this without a problem. So we got, of course, the highlight. Now with at least our Wonder, we're going to go ahead and use Sorosh's first skill. Then we're going to use Vino's first skill, since we used skill 3, following at least the whole little rotation of things. Now this is where we get all the big boy damage. So we use skill 3. We're going to use this on Kazumi. You guys are finally going to get to see at least how much damage she can really do. With this here, we go ahead and utilize this. Boom, 1 million. 1 million. And I think that was actually a crit too. So there you go, 1 million, and that is with the 4-star weapon. You heard me right, the 4-star weapon. Now, of course, since we already used it once, it's now Kazumi's turn. We're gonna use our highlight. We're gonna pop it off again. That gets us another 1 million. No crit, perfectly fine. And then we're gonna use the skill 3. Boom. And that gave us 610k. And that is with a 4-star weapon, just basic type deals, and we still got 50 million points. So pretty darn good, especially for a character who was not really with the 5-star weapon. She's just doing what she can do at just a 4-star weapon. So let's go ahead and actually change over to the 5-star weapon. Now, once again, the 5-star weapon then changes up at least the aspect of how much crit damage she really does have and how much she can really do. This allows you to then kind of refine your crit rate a little bit more, at least a lot more than your crit damage. So if you really want to, or at least, sorry, this allows you to also heavily imply more into your crit damage. Because if you do have, of course, Futaba and stuff like this, and you have a really good card set, you then can actually go ahead and refine even more so into the crit damage section, seeing you're going to have way more than enough crit rate than you really need. So let's go ahead and go over here. I'm going to do this once again here, this time with the 5-star weapon. Let's go ahead and click her just to make sure you guys can see and actually see the actual difference. 5-star weapon, cool. All right, let's queue in. We're going to do the exact same thing here. Nothing different. All setups going to be the same. Everything's going to be exactly the same. So now, Wonder, once again, we're going to use Dionysus. First round, you're doing Revolution. We're going to do this on Vino. Go ahead and pop in with Cord, or at least with Vino's skill 1. Then we're going to at least use our Cord skill 2. And we're going to make sure this is on Wonder. You don't want to use this on anyone else. Go ahead and use this on Wonder. Boom, easy as that. Use the skill 1. Now, we did 24k. What did we do last time with no crits? 22k. So you can kind of see the similarity right there already. But go ahead and use Dionysus. Use the defense down. And then we're going to use Vino's skill 3. this already is setting us up for pretty much good deals here. And we're gonna immediately use the skill 3. Once again, not on Kazumi. We're gonna use this on Wonder, giving us all a nice buff. Then we're gonna use Kazumi's skill 2. So boom, there we go, got that perfectly good. Use the skill 2. This is gonna go on Wonder skin, perfectly all good. Nothing changed right now. We just have more posture stacks. Let's keep that in mind. More posture stacks than normal than what we would normally get. Now on the round 3, this is where we go kind of dummy again. So go ahead and use the skill 2 with Futaba. Then we're gonna go ahead and use Rebellion with Wonder on Kazumi, by the way. Or sorry, skill 2. Then we use Wonder's Highlight with Sorosh. Sorry, I almost messed up myself. Gosh, over here moving too fast. But Highlight with Sorosh here. Then we're gonna swap to Yanosek, get the attack buff, and put it on Kazumi. Get this on up here, in which we get the follow-up. As you see, we did like 25 or 27, maybe 26 with our 4-star. We did 30k with this one, so pretty much a 6k to 4k difference. And now what we go ahead and do here, we're gonna go ahead and use actually our skill 1 once again to get the whole rotation going. Boom. Use the skill 2 on Kazumi here. And then with this one, we're immediately going to use the skill 1. You guys are going to see a little bit more damage than normal, or at least more damage than the last time. We did 139k. Not bad, especially since we did like 120. That was kind of like a 10k difference. So now it's the first weak turn. This is where we have a little bit of fun. Go ahead and use the skill 1. Then we're going to use Rebellion with Wonder on Kazumi. So keep that in mind. Oh wait, sorry. Rebellion, not Revolution. Use Rebellion here. Then we're going to use Vino's skill 3. Pop off Chord skill 1 and lead it into our skill 3 for Kazumi. So Chord skill 1. And then we're going to lead this into our skill 3 with Kazumi here. Dealing a whopping 200k. So we hit around like 133k, 150k, I want to say, at least at max. We did 200k with the 5-star weapon, so a decent change in damage, but still pretty darn good for the 4-stars. Still keeping up pretty much. Now for the second turn with weak, this is where we really have to end it off. So our first thing is going to go ahead and use the skill 3. Then we're going to go ahead and use Chord's Highlight if you have it, of course. Pop this on off. Then we're going to have Sorosh out. Make sure Sorosh uses their skill 1. Utilize Vino's skill 1 just to pop off everything perfectly. And then we use Chord's skill 3, making sure we get the actual double highlight with Kazumi here. So let's go ahead and pop it off once. This is going to give us a whopping 1.2 mil, pretty darn good. And then as always, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this off again. One more time, giving us another 1.2 mil, almost 1.3. Leading into the skill 3, giving us a decent 600k, which we did do 600k with the other what's it called, the other set as well. 8 mil difference, pretty decent, but the damage was also pretty solid. All four pretty good, and you were able to actually take advantage over a lot more of that crit damage, as well as that damage in general that you get from the 5-star weapon. Hopefully you guys actually can see the differences between it. It's really like a couple 100k difference. In terms of at least the highlights here, we did 1 mil with the 4-star, and with the 5-star we did 1.2 million. So it's like a 200k difference there. Nothing too crazy, pretty decent. This can pretty much cloud up, or at least open up your eyes a little bit to whether you want to go for that 4-star weapon, or at least that 5-star weapon, or just go ahead and chill out with the 4-star weapon and dupe that out. Hopefully a lot of you guys who are free to play and are trying to save for at least a catchy in them, who are upcoming banners, you could take this and go ahead and just say, I'm going to go ahead and just dupe out the 4-star weapon instead of getting the 5-star weapon to save yourself some extra currency. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay sharp. Peace out.